another episode.
Yes.
It's Shalisa.
And Shanika. This is Cranberry Juice in a Wine Glass podcast.
Yes.
Girl, you ready for this subject today?
I guess so. I'm gonna have to get ready because I feel like it's about to be real.
Y'all, look, when I came in, I told her what we was gonna talk about today, and she was like, am I ready? Are we ready?
Are we ready?
I feel like it was kind of, I saw on Instagram, you know, how people do the questions thing.
Yeah.
I've been seeing this a lot. A lot of people have been asking different people, especially people that talk about relationships and, you know, different things, mental health, things. I've been seeing this question come up a lot. So I feel like we got to talk about this. We talk about mental health.
Yeah.
We've been talking about like this family relationship series.
That's true.
Before we get into the topic though, did y'all listen to last week's
If
episode
you did not,
about friendship?
you need to go back and listen to that bad boy.
I'm going to pat us on the back.
Thank you.
Because that was a really good episode.
Yeah.
It was really good. We got... this season has been a lot.
It has. And we've been dropping them heavy.
We have. And if y'all haven't seen the previous one, we talked about mommy issues.
Yep.
Daddy issues. Being the other child.
Mm-hmm.
Blending families.
Yeah.
Friendships. And so today, it will only be right if we talk about... I want to say, should we say relation? We're going to talk about relationships, situationships, whatever you in. We're going to talk about it. Talk about being ghosted. This is a real thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have friends. I've, even went through this. Like, this is a topic that we need to talk more about because being ghosted can really affect you if you're not looking at it the right way. And also if you don't have, like, if your self-esteem already isn't in a good space and someone does that to you.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is. It's heavy. I didn't want to talk about this today. I did not want to do this. So it is heavy. She's right. But I like what you said. I like that you said if you don't have the right perspective of this situation and how it can impact you, how it can affect you.
Yes. And look,
yeah.
Speaking of it, it might have been, you know how God be working stuff out.
Yeah.
I actually had therapy this morning, right? And we talked about the scripts in our head of how when we hear other people saying basically and how that can get into our brains. And so when we try to do stuff or something happens to us, we're hearing these voices in our head, right?
That's good. Okay.
I feel like when you're ghosted, you can start hearing those voices of I'm not good enough, or I can only speak for myself. I remember it's been a couple of times that I have been ghosted, and I remember just putting up with stuff like in high school and like old relationships.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a relationship where one day they talking to you, then the next day you ain't hearing from you? It started making you like, okay, well, what happened? Because we talked all day yesterday, so what happened?
Yeah.
And so that can kind of, that voice in your head is like telling you like, well, why am I not good enough? Or what did I do? You automatically start, you automatically put it on yourself and you take it personal.
That's true.
So yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to talk about this subject. So, you want me to go first? Like, the question is, have you ever been ghosted before?
Yeah, I think we should. I think you can go first.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you can go first.
Girl, like I said before, I have been ghosted a couple of times, and I remember it being in a season where actually like insecurity and stuff, I'm actually still working through this stuff to this day. Like just my self-worth and stuff, just being completely honest.
That's honest.
And so, but I remember it was like in the thick of when I really didn't know my value at all. And so I was just allowing people to treat me any kind of way.
Speak on it.
I would, be in relationships where, it was just no certainty in the relationship. Like one day we were good, and the next, I don't hear from you next week. And then when they did talk to me, it was like things just went back to normal instead of me sticking up for myself and saying like, how you just gonna ghost me like that, you know? And then you just want to talk to me when you want to talk to me, but that is unacceptable. Yeah, it is unacceptable.
I agree with that. Dang, that's so real. Like, this is a real conversation.
It is, and it's not fun. And it's definitely not fun. No. It is hard, but you know, we all about having just these authentic
most definitely
conversations.
Most definitely. And I would say too, with I don't think I've necessarily been ghosted, but I have been in relationships where it's this constant like push and pull thing. Like 1 minute we're on, 1 minute we're off. 1 minute we're on, and then and I think that messes with you too, because I never knew what to expect. So it created like anxiety too, because I never knew, like, okay, are we good today? Did I upset you today? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're constantly on eggshells, and I dare say, like, not always the other person. Like, I contributed to it as well. You know, and it messed with when I say it messed with just how I viewed myself as a girlfriend, how I view myself as, like, okay, being in a relationship, you know. And then a part of me, if I could be completely honest, a part of me became drawn to the toxic situation.
Let's talk about it.
I became attracted to it, and when I would be in situations where things were not chaotic, and I think we kind of touched on this before, I was uncomfortable. I'm like, okay, this doesn't feel right. This person can't really like me because, you know, just this ignorant way of thinking. Yeah. Because I didn't know my worth. I didn't know my value.
Yeah. And look, it goes to the same. I think we talked about this maybe last week or one of these weeks where we talked about when somebody being too nice. Like, he too nice.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
That's he just being consistent. Like, what?
Exactly. Like, isn't that what you want?
Right.
Like, don't you want consistency?
That's what you should want. Absolutely. Yeah. And girl, you just broke that down real good. Now look. You got my heart beating over here like this. How you know you talking about a sensitive subject when your heart beats fast and stuff, right? But girl, it is a real thing. And so I remember before I actually got in a relationship with Trey, I was actually talking to somebody and they ghosted me. And to be honest, I was devastated. Like, I was like, I didn't even do anything. Like, you know, what's going on? You know, I started asking myself, putting it on myself, like, okay, what did I do wrong? Should I have done something better? Comparing myself, like, oh, maybe he talking to somebody else, you know, well, why does he like her more than me? You know, we just go down this toxic cycle. It's a really, you can really go down in a dark hole. Oh yeah. You can go down in a dark hole.
I've been in that hole and sat there, got real comfortable.
Oh yeah, me too.
In that hole.
Yes. And I remember I was in therapy when it happened, and she was like, Shanika, she was like, that just tells you something about him. Like, you don't want anybody like that. And I started asking myself, like, why am I attracted to someone like that? And it was because I had allowed it before. Why am I had allowed it for a couple of years, you know, allowing people to treat me like this. But if we're gonna get real, if you want to really talk about the root of that, I just lost my train of thought, and it ain't nothing but the devil. You better get up out of here. But no, like, the root of that is, what is it? We just talked about this morning, but no, what's the word I'm looking for? Come on, Lord, what is the word I'm looking for? Like, the root is, what is it? Rejection.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's the rejection thing. Yeah. And so it can be something as small as you being in elementary school or something, right? You really like someone, and they tell you, like, Shanika, you ugly. Now, I don't want you. Anytime someone like rejects you, even as you're older, if you're still having that script in your mind,
There we go. So it's full circle.
Yeah, it's a full circle moment. Yes. Yeah. And it's like, it can be those small things that get attached to you, but you don't realize it until it starts showing up in your adulthood.
That's so real. And also, I would stretch it just a little bit, not to even go outside of the box of what we're talking about, but not only being rejected in intimate relationships, but even when you feel that, speaking when you're younger, like with friends, when you're younger and you have friends or the girls that you thought you were cool with, and you find out that they reject you, and it could be the slightest little rejection, and that's another script that adds. So like for me, I've had that happen, and I've developed this script of like, why am I not good enough? Like, why am I so weird? Why am I such an outcast? Why am I so, and now I embrace it because I can look back and see like what God was doing in those situations and molding me and shaping me into what I need to be today. But doing it, you don't understand that. And so you will develop this story in your head of which that's why we got to do an episode on the ego, which all of those scripts add to our ego of what we tell ourselves. Like,
girl, that's good. That's going to have to be our next episode.
Because it's just time, and it's come up too much. Like, that's amazing.
Absolutely. And so, okay, you hearing that you were ugly, you really like someone and they rejected you, and then I love how you said, talking about, not being enough, because at the end of the day, that's exactly what we're telling ourselves. We may not be saying that we're enough, but dwelling on those old things that have been said to us, that have been attached to our identity.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
That we don't realize.
Yep.
And I was just asking my therapist about this today, because, I was just telling her that just being real open and transparent, in my quiet time, God told me, like, a lot of the things that I deal with when it comes to my physical sickness, it starts in my head. What am I telling myself?
Wow.
And until I change my mind, I'm not going to see the results in my physical health that I'm going to want to see, because I have to do the work to reprogram myself, reprogram my thoughts about how I see myself, and also, how I see others, but mostly, and most important, of how I see myself and what I'm allowing to go on in here.
Yeah. And
what you about to say?
No, you made a good point. So for me, the same thing. I had to learn how to see myself the way God sees me. So even not seeing myself the way I think I should see myself.
Come on.
Because I didn't create me. So I need to go to the creator. You know what I'm saying? Like, if my car, Nissan breaks down, I'm not going to try to fix it. I'm going to take it to the dealership, the people who created that.
You better break that down, yeah.
And I wasn't trying to be deep, like, but it just, when you said that, it was so powerful to me, because I felt like I had to do the same thing. My thing was also validation was a huge thing for me. So I felt like even if I felt like, okay, something was good, if you didn't validate it, then it's just not right. Yeah, it's still not, like, why aren't you not obsessive over this, but why aren't you complimenting me on this? And if I didn't receive that, then I made it about me. Yeah. Like, somehow I'm not delivering. Like, I'm not capable of making you happy.
Girl, tell me.
You know what I'm saying?
Girl, you better. And that reminded me, I was actually dating someone who was very, like, narcissistic. And so,
oh my God.
Girl, them personalities, and I didn't know it. I'm so glad I know what I know now, but I wish I would have knew back then, because it'll be something so small, like, I buy a candle from Walmart and give it to him, right? He'll be like, oh, I only like Bath and Body Works candles. You're gonna have to take that back.
Girl, I am being triggered. Right? Girl. I am being triggered.
And when he did that, I was like, am I cheap? Like, I thought about, it literally made me look at myself like, why am I, and it was so many instances in our relationship where he would do that, and it would literally destroy my confidence.
Yep.
It would. And it's like, you're looking for validation. You want him to say, oh, that was nice. But no, he like, no, I don't want that. I don't like that. Like, I want to get my, and it was, and then even got down to the point of course, that I'm pursuing modeling, right?
Yeah.
He was very into fitness. So if I didn't dress a certain way to compliment him, or I remember he would tell me, like, you need to get in the gym because I want you to be a fitness model. When I know I don't want to be no fitness model, like, you know, it just made me want to change myself because I'm trying to please him and not who God created me to be.
You want to go fight him?
What? You know I will. Look.
Why am I being
you know, girl, it destroyed me. It really destroyed me. And you know what? But you know what? God used that because from that relationship, that's why I had to put myself in therapy because I'm like, I keep attracting
the same.
What the world's going on with me in
What's
the
happening?
Inside? Yeah. And so
that's good, Shanika.
Girl, look, I ain't even
that's
we ain't even supposed to be talking. But you know what? It all ties in. It all ties into this relationship stuff.
And we led by the Holy Spirit anyway. So however it's supposed to be, that's how it's supposed to be. Girl. And you know, I can talk I can be transparent. I can talk about me being the one that wasn't always mature in situations. It took a while for me to really see my toxic traits.
Oh, girl.
Yeah. I've ghosted people. I'm not proud of that, but I have, and it was just a lack of maturity. No excuse, just afraid of being able, afraid of being able to communicate effectively. But also that just circles right back around to not being confident in who you are and not being confident in your worth and how you see yourself.
Yeah.
Because now, you know, fast forward, it's nothing that I can't communicate in a relationship because I'm learning to be confident in what I want, and in what I feel I need, where I'm at, you know, whatever my feelings, emotions, whatever my thoughts, whatever it is, and I'm okay if you're not okay with it. You know, I'm okay with that, and I think for the longest, I was dealing with like this codependency thing of I can't upset you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I would go along to get along, and then I'm like, I can't deal with this anymore, and I just shut down and shut the person off. You know, because I felt like that's, you know, how I needed to deal with it. But yeah,
girl, I
done
ghosted some people before too. Girl, put them on the block list. They still on there to this day. Okay. It is so bad, but you know what? That's true. I didn't know how. My thing is, this is the script that goes on in my head. Like, I don't want to disappoint them. I don't want to upset them. I don't know how they're going to react. So I would just ignore the situation, act like it never even happened. But like you said, like, I was very immature back then. And I thought that silencing or not talking to the person anymore, just cut that situation off. That was how I was dealing with stuff, but that was not mature of me.
And people run to silence for safety. Sometimes, you know, you think that if I'm quiet, and sometimes I wonder, does that come from our upbringing when you're taught like to suppress a lot of feelings and not, you know, talk about certain things? I wonder, like, does it play on your psyche of, if I'm silent, then this will go away?
I'm pretty girl.
Because we're used to, like, let's sweep it under the rug. You know what I'm saying? It'll go away. No, it's not going to go away. It's still going to be lingering into adulthood. Okay? That's why I'm in therapy now, because we didn't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
think about it. If you are, pay attention to this. If you are seeing yourself like you don't know how to communicate, you're ghosting a lot of people, what other areas in your life is that showing up in? It can come into like
that's good. That is good.
It can come in. All right, help me give some examples. Like, you know, some people, of course, like, you know, I've seen people at job, they leave a job and don't come back and they don't tell anybody nothing. Like, you just don't see them no more. That's girl. True. But you know what? You don't know how to say that this isn't for me. So they just don't see you no more. You can't
communicate. Or you let people run over top of you because you struggle with addressing conflict. You know, being confrontational. And even though I feel like that has I wish I could come up with a different word than confrontational. I think that has a negative connotation because I'm not being confrontational if I feel like I need to address something that is not wrong. Like, I just feel like confrontational has this negative coin to it. But I think that's another area, because if you can't be address things in your relationships, I'm pretty sure that's spilling over into other areas too.
It does. Yeah. I always hear, it's this phrase that I constantly keep in my head: how you do one thing is how you do everything. So how you are, just thinking that silence and you can just cut people off or don't show back up and things will be okay. But no, it's going to show up in other areas of your life. So pay attention.
Yeah.
If you find yourself doing that, and I feel like what you said as far as, I'm trying to think, back then when I was doing that, I would allow people to run over top of me because I feel like I didn't have a voice. So I feel like I had to put up with anything because I don't even know why I was doing that. Of course, I'm still kind of trying to dig and do my work to understand why I did that, but it was a real thing for me, and it was showing up in my relationships. It was showing up in friendships. It was just showing up in all areas of my life because I wasn't confronting what I needed to confront.
Right.
And another thing too is sometimes we do just focus on the surface level of things, but we got to get to the root in order for us to actually change the actions in one thing that's going to affect everything else. That's
true. And then too, just like we were talking about, when being ghosted brings about insecurities, you think it's, you have to, but when you say get into the root of it, it went back to like even my childhood. Like, what does this say about me? What does this say about my choices? What does this say about my preference?
Yeah.
Because like I said, at one point in time, I was attracted to the chaos. Yeah. I was attracted to that toxicity. So what does that say about the person that I am? And I think that's why a lot of people don't want to do the work, because then you have to sit and deal with the reality of who you are. Or who you've allowed yourself to be. And I think for the longest, I was trying to avoid that. And then I was like you, I'm like, wait, I keep attracting the same things, or I keep finding myself in the same situations. Like, what is it about? What's going on internally? Like, what am I missing on the inside? What void am I trying to constantly fill?
Yeah.
By, doing these things. Or,
girl, that's so good.
Yeah. Being ghosted, ladies and gentlemen. That's
what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
And you see how is that being ghosted is like a surface level thing, but if you really go down and get to the root, it's like rejection issues, it's insecurity issues, it's all of the things, So
all of that.
We got to get to the root of why we're doing things, and this podcast is all about holding each other accountable, talking about these things, because we go through these things in everyday life. Everybody has been ghosted or has ghosted someone.
Point blank, period. And even not only sitting with yourself if you were the person who were ghosted, but the person who was doing the ghosting, because that says something about you too. Like me, like we said, like me being the person that ghosted people, like that says something about me, my character. So you really have to search deep within and really, like I say, just want to know. You have to want to have a desire to want to be better, to handle people better.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes.
So,
woo!
Being ghosted.
We got through it.
We did. It wasn't as bad as I was nervous, y'all. I didn't want to.
I was nervous too, but I felt like God allowed me to see something on social media for me to remember, to talk about this, because I remember we had it on our list.
Yes, before. We did.
And I feel like it goes into like our little, mommy issues, daddy issues, friendships, the other child, relationship. This is a part of like the relationship thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna tell y'all what I actually saw that kind of reminded me that we need to talk about this. So someone had asked, her name is Brittany Moses. And she actually is, I think she does a lot of stuff with mental health. Like she studies psychology, like she knows her stuff. And so somebody asked her the question of how do I deal with being ghosted and replaced? And I love how she answered this. So the question is, how do I deal with being ghosted and replaced? So that means, I guess this person, somebody ghosted them and then they ended up dating somebody else.
Okay.
So this is how she answered. She said, Ghosting is another form of rejection and without any closure. So it hurts and it can lead to all kinds of ruminations about yourself. Basically, all of these thoughts about yourself. And she said, but I would encourage you to flip that script around because no one deserves to be ghosted unless something unsafe took place.
Right.
If anything, it reflects on the other person's character and maturity. It's theirs to own. And trust me, at the end of the day, you want to do life with someone who can handle hard conversations and be able to communicate with you.
That's it.
If someone is ghosting you, no. They don't know how to communicate and they don't know how to handle hard conversations.
And they probably don't even know how to communicate with themselves.
Yes.
Because that's a big thing too. But
yeah. She was like, even having the maturity to say things aren't working out, not run or disappear from problems is a major red flag. So I like this too. She also said, she always sees ghosting as being saved from someone who clearly isn't the right fit. And it just made room for someone else who could be, honey.
Dang, I love how she said, I view ghosting as being saved. Now that part.
Saved from someone who clearly isn't the right fit. And making room for someone who could be.
I will make room for you. Now that
was a whole word, and I was like, wow, we gotta talk about this today.
Yeah,
this is good.
That is good. Super good.
Sip on that. Okay, so we got some juice. We got the juice for the week too, but I feel like you should sip on that too.
Yeah, because that was just.
Yes.
I can't. Yeah, I just can't get off of the being saved part. Saved from someone. But okay. Juice of the week. When someone is unsure about you, make it more about their immaturity and less about your insecurities. I'm gonna read it one more time. Okay. When someone is unsure about you, make it more about their immaturity and less about your insecurities. So basically, y'all, we're going to change this narrative of being ghosted. We're not going to take it on.
No.
We're going to make it more about the other person.
And viewing it as God saving you from someone. And
I just love, I don't know why.
Why
is the Holy Spirit doing something on the inside of me right now? I don't know. But just because the fact, yes, being being saved from, and sometimes I guess we don't realize how God, the littlest thing we think God doesn't care about, He already has His hand on it.
He does. And trust me, ladies, as an engaged woman, you
better throw that engaged out there.
You want someone that you're going to be able to talk to the good things, the bad things, somebody that's going to stick it out with you. Like, I wouldn't trade Trey for nothing in the world. Literally. Girl, that's my boo thing, and I know he watching.
Come on.
I love you.
God.
But no.
I love it.
It's a real thing. Like, I would, I just remember putting up with so much stuff, and I'm like, man, this is so easy. Of course we go through things, but the relationship is easy. And that's how you know. People always ask, how do you know this is easy? And the Holy Spirit gonna tell you. And that's that on that.
I was trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, we were talking about being ghosted. We were talking about being ghosted, okay? You heard it from the horse's mouth, okay?
Girl, look. As someone who done been ghosted 101 times, God done seen me through. He gonna see you through too, sis. Look.
You guys give me hope. I'm not there yet, but
it's on the way. I tell you this all the time. I tell her this all the time. And I'm gonna tell you this too. Like, it's on the way. People used to tell me this, and I'm like, well, you need to hurry up, cause look.
That made me think of that old gospel song. It's on the way. It's on the way. Oh yes, it's on the way. Okay, all right. This is it.
Yes.
This is it. This was good.
It was so good.
This was good.
I'm glad we pushed through and got to do this hard conversation.
Yes, because I didn't want. Thanks, Shanika, because I didn't want to do this conversation. I did not, and she was like, "Nah, sis, we got to do this, like point blank, period." Mm-hmm. And I'm glad because she held me accountable. So
yes,
I hope you guys enjoyed it. Shanika, you got anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, y'all. Peace out. Peace.